New episode of the Enhanced Reality.
Welcome back.
Yep. We have a special guest, Ranya. We talk about her all the time. She's finally here.
She's here.
I'm real.
In the flesh. Yeah. The pro bodybuilder.
Pro women's bodybuilder.
Yeah, it's settling.
How does it feel? Title. How does it feel now that like the dust has settled? You did your first pro show. Yeah. How does it feel to be a pro? Does it feel any different? Did it feel any different when you first did it, and does it feel any different now?
No. As I walk around, like I would think I'd hold myself with a different kind of like I'm a pro, but no, it feels the same. I don't think, and I think people like assumed I was a pro before, but until I like actually walked the walk and like actually got lean and got on that stage. No, now it just feels right. Yeah.
That's the one thing that probably gives you a lot of confidence because I know you competed for a long time, but like you're kind of like me. I was just never really able to hit it. Like you just never were able to come all the way down. And this time you were like, all right, I'm going to actually like do this right. Like I'm going to lean all the way down. I'm going to peak perfectly. I'm going to just come in like at my best. And it's a good feeling knowing like you did it all and just absolutely annihilated everybody.
No, it was pretty cool. I always knew I had like the potential, but yeah, like you said, I wasn't putting 100% into it.
Yeah.
And I actually did.
And it's kind of cool too because like I think it's a progression because like when you first start, you don't really know like what you're capable of. You don't know what your genetics are. You don't know how lean you can get. And I don't think you had the right people around you at that time. You know, you weren't around people that were like pro caliber that wanted you to get to that level. And now that you're like around the right people, now that you're in that mindset of like, okay, I know I can do this, like it becomes more exciting.
Yeah, and that's what made all the difference is like.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
Someone to believe in you that you can do it, that you can get to that level, I think makes all the difference, especially if like, you know, it's your husband. Like it's the person that's literally with you all the time.
Well, I see it two ways. It's the same thing when it comes to like, let's say, a normal client coach like perspective. Even based off our relationship, we're married, right? Husband and wife. If you take that out of context and you still believe as a coach that this person has potential, that's all it takes. And some people don't actually see that. Like coaches will say, yeah, I believe in you, bro. You're Olympia worthy. Yep. How many times have you heard that be said from another coach to like the client? In this case, I sat her down and I said, no, you are. Like you actually are. You just need to understand that we have this many levels to climb, and once you climb that level, we have to start back here and work way back, back up, and that's what happened. And it was just smooth sailing from there. But she's been fed, you're fantastic, you're huge, you're jacked, you're this, her whole life. I would say, like with her bodybuilding career, since she got like serious,
without critique, and I think that's the problem.
Yeah,
when you're gassed up too much and you're not critiqued enough because. You guys kind of remind me of Keon and Amanda, but just opposite. Like Amanda fucking, brought Keon to the next level. Not because like he didn't have it at the time, but Amanda was like, like I believe in you. But at the same time, like everyone's just gassing him up. And Amanda was like, we need to do this, 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 and this to get you to the next level. And that's what you did. Yep. You were like, you have all the potential in the world, but you're not doing all these things properly.
Yeah, you're just not structured. And I think that was the biggest thing. Like I showed Ranya, the minute you put that structure in, it's going to change. And she did. And 4 weeks in, she's like, holy shit.
Yeah, the changes were just insane.
And it's the same with every athlete. Every athlete believes that, it's just the coach or it's the drugs or it's the food or it's the training program specificity. Like it's not. It's your structure from when you wake up to when you go to bed and how you tick those boxes in that order. And where your meals are, where your training is, and as long as you're progressing in training, and as long as you're paying attention to the little details, it all adds up.
It's everything. It all adds up. You can't miss one thing. Yeah. Like you miss one meal, that's like what, like 15% of your day gone. Yeah. You know what I mean?
People have had this conception of, if I miss a meal, I'll just cram the meal. No.
It needs to all be done properly.
It can be done in off season. Like you can get away with 1 or 2 meals when you're in a time rush to maybe cram meals, but even then I'm like, hey, no, that's not a good idea. Just skip it.
But I think it compounds on each other. If you miss one thing, you're willing to miss this. You're willing to miss your meal. You're willing to miss your GH shot. You're willing to miss your cardio. Yeah. Like it all compounds on top of each other. I think if you do everything right, like I took this pill in the morning. I ate my meal in the morning. I did my fasted cardio. I ate the next meal at this time. You do everything correctly at the time they're supposed to be done. That's what makes the champion.
Oh, yeah.
They're willing to do everything right.
Yeah.
You know, it's not one thing.
It's not just one thing. And it's not even, like, I'll go back to this again. Everyone thinks it's the coach. You could have the best coach in the world, and if you don't follow and you don't do it to a letter, you aren't going to get the results.
Yep.
So
We see it all the time. People coach hop all the time and have the best coaches in the world, and they never seem to make it. And I'm like, it's not the coach. They just need to do it.
I've had so many athletes come to me, and I'm like, hey, this is what the level of requirement is to be this.
Yeah.
Like, you need to do this, all in order. They crack halfway. Yep. And I tell them, like, this is the reality of it. You want me to be a good, like, coach, which I'm trying to be towards you. You need to understand that I'm going to ask things of you at uncertain times of when you need to actually do them, and you need to just get it done. Some people can't do that because their priority is not this.
Yes.
That's the thing. The difference is bodybuilding, when you're prepping, is not the priority. It should be a priority 24/7, 365 days of the year. That's bodybuilding. That is bodybuilding.
Off-season, everything.
Off-season.
Yeah.
The way you attack off-season
I
should
think
be
that's
the
what
same.
helped with her too, because you were lean in the off season. You built muscle in the off season. Like you were a bodybuilder in the off season. Now you weren't just big Ranya anymore.
And that's where we started, is because like it all goes into each other. Is I did get hyped up, and I knew I wasn't being like gassed up by people on social media or even in person as a bodybuilder. I know they weren't saying that like, oh, you're like the best bodybuilder. Of course I wasn't. I wasn't a bodybuilder. I knew how to train hard, and I ate maybe like 75%, but nothing else was in play. So, but that was the thing, is I was pretty happy with that. I also didn't think I was capable of being a bodybuilder. I didn't think I had the size or the potential to get to that size and get to that leanness. So I settled for what I was already being gassed up about.
75%.
Yeah, and I trained hard, and that was pretty much it. But that is how we started my prep, is in an off season, because I wasn't even having, like, even though I was living in a permanent off season, I never had like full structure. So that's where we started. Like, and that's another thing. A lot of people will go to coaches and they'll think, you know, I've been lifting for this long. Yeah, I'm carrying a good amount of body fat, but that's off season, right? Like, I've been doing it. Now let's go into a prep. They want to start with a coach and they want to go straight into prep.
Yep.
But you need to have a structured off season.
How many times have you heard the calls? Like, I'm on, they're like, oh yeah, I've just been doing off season. I'm just bulking at the moment, and I think I'm ready for a prep. And my answer is no, you're not.
Because they treat it that way. You say, I'm just doing an off season.
Yeah, and then there's like
you can already tell.
There's a 20-second silence.
You're like, oh.
They're like, oh, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know your body, so I can't just throw you into prep.
And a prep is easy. Just prepping for 4 months, it's easy. That's really easy.
Yeah, it's just from
But doing
here
a true
to here.
off season to a prep for a year straight, that's hard.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard because the goal is so far away. I mean, the goal is far away in 4 months, let alone in a year. And it's hard to see that goal, and it's hard to just focus that entire time. Because we all have those times where we treat prep as like, or not prep, off season as like, oh, it's off season. Yeah. Like, it's relaxed. It's, you know, it's not stringent. But to be a top athlete, that's not how it is. They're perfect all year round.
Yeah, and in this case, right, I would have honestly, if it wasn't these shows and it wasn't this timeline, I would have pushed her back maybe another year in off season to make even more impact on her mental state and how she approached it. But she ticked boxes so quick, it just went, okay, she's ready.
And I think that's the difference between someone who's very genetically gifted and who's not.
Yeah.
It's just the timeline. The timeline's a little faster.
Once the athlete believes and sees what they're capable of within a 6 to 8 week period of being very, very strict with what they're doing. And I don't mean strict with food, I mean strict with everything. Around bodybuilding. And they see the pros and the cons, they go, oh man, I can make this better.
Yep.
I'm liking this. I'm getting addicted to this. This is actually becoming fun. And it became fun.
Yep.
Like, she's like, I just want to beat this. I want to beat that. I want to beat this. I'm going to beat the time on the stairmaster. I'm going to beat the time on this. When you approach it like a game, it changes the entire playing field for everyone. Especially like someone like me. I'm like, okay, I need to beat these. And I look at my numbers. I'm like, I'm going to beat all this.
Yep.
And she's very much the same. Like, every week she is progressing no matter what it is. It might not be in cardio one day. It might be in training the first, like, that day. And it might be, okay, I'm going to be a little bit more stricter on this. Everything is a game.
Yep. You're beating the logbook every time. Every single thing you're doing a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. Yeah. And then your body has no choice but to get better. You look in the mirror and you go, oh, wow, I'm progressing so much. But like, you don't have to think about that.
There is no way you can be 100% every single day.
No.
I tell everyone, aim for 90. Aim for 90. No. 10% error of margin, it's going to happen. It's the same with your diet. You will never be 100% because one day, if we look at it like technically, a real bodybuilder doesn't put sauces, doesn't put nothing. It's straight, it's clean, it's everything's measured to the gram.
Yep.
But you're never going to be 100%. Even Ronnie Coleman wasn't 100%. Yeah. He was eating barbecue sauce.
He used to put barbecue sauce on all this stuff. And that was his 10%. It worked.
That's his 10%. So don't put yourself in a hole thinking I have to be 100% perfect because that's when you break.
Yep.
And then you give up because then it's too hard for you to do because you're like, fuck, I have to be a monk.
Yep.
Monk for like 6 months of the year. Yeah. Jesus. Like, okay, well, you know, some people have to do that, unfortunately.
Yep.
Like, I have to be in a prep, but in off season, I'm like,
well,
I have to be a bit lenient. But anyway, I got some questions.
Let's do it.
I got some questions. Okay, so majority of them are obviously for Ranya, and we can sort of interject as we go along. But someone asked, can you please share your backstory and how you got into training and what made you want to do it? What made you want to be a professional bodybuilder? That's the specificity. Like,
this is a good one because I've known you for a long time and seen like
how
your mentality changes. Oh, I'll know.
Yeah, no, I think my mentality's changed around it like so many times. It was never, a lot of people will say like, oh, I saw this picture of this bodybuilder in magazine and I knew I wanted to look like that. But no, it was like...
just a big ass blown up
picture of Ronnie Coleman. It's a slow progression. And I know that especially for you because there's so many times you went back and forth with it. I've heard you say so many times, you're like, I'm done competing. I don't like it. You know, not fun. And then I see you come back to it and you're good. And then you're like, oh, I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, and that's the reality of it. It's like I dipped my toe and it took... like you fall in and out of love with it, like anything. Like you need to re-find your passion for it and purpose for it. And so that's where I think it's changed a lot, where I think at first, I've told this story a few times, but like I think my introduction to the bodybuilding world was honestly like seeing the like the fitness models in Australia. What's that category called?
WBFF.
WBFF.
Yeah. Now it's called something different.
And that's the thing is it's a much more showcasey style of bodybuilding. It's definitely not the same as bodybuilding competitions in the IFBB, but that was attractive to me, like going on stage in a big fancy costume and looking kind of lean. So I was a dancer at first. I stopped dancing for like 2 months in college, gained the freshman 15, 30, whatever.
30, 15.
My dorm was like 5 minutes.
That's a big jump from 15 to 30, man.
Whoa. I wish I gained weight that quick.
Shit. I do gain weight quick. So, yeah, no, my dorm was 5 minutes from the gym. I would go and mess around. I don't know if I really had much of a guideline of like how to train. And then, I mean, people in the gym started talking to power lifters. I think I was mostly surrounded by power lifters for like the first few years of this journey, but I never wanted to compete in powerlifting. It was just, I just like to train hard, and I like to train. I called myself a power builder because I like to do my accessory work. I like to do my bicep curls, not just my compounds.
And probably looking like a powerlifter wasn't exactly what you wanted. You were
That
like,
was
I want to look a certain way too, while being strong.
So no one wants to look like a giant ball of Adderall walking around.
No,
with a barrel chest and back and no arms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to be able to shape my physique a bit more. So, no, I think my first show I got into, I prepped myself. I was like 6 months into the gym. I read Lane Norton's bodybuilding prep guide and followed it to a T. Like I did his like water depletion protocol and everything. It wasn't crazy, no. It was,
I know, but like still, like,
but I was natural and you know, and then from there, I was pretty much convinced. I got up on stage at 21 and everyone next to me had been doing this for years. They all had so much more muscle, and at that point I was like, I'm probably not gonna be able to reach that size, so I'm just gonna continue on lift, train, do whatever. I don't know. I went in and out with it. I think COVID took everyone for a hit, so it hit me. And at that point, I pretty much was sure I'm not getting any bigger than this. Like, this is my cutoff. And I decided I wasn't competing. And then I met you.
Yeah. I think you did a wellness show once.
I did. I like to skip
I know that was a little
part.
blip. I know you like barely prepped for it. I remember.
Yeah, it was a rough prep. I, again, prepped myself with the help of a friend, and
I think part of it, and you know, I may be overstepping too.
No, probably
I
not.
think one, the people you're around, and I think you were trying to find yourself too.
Yeah.
I don't think you knew like the path in life you wanted to go on yet. And I think like now, I've never seen you more confident.
Yeah.
Like more confident in like the path you want to be on, and not just now. Like after being a pro, like a year and a half ago, like you were so like focused, dedicated. You know exactly what you wanted to do. Even career-wise with like your training and stuff, like your content creation, like your social media has grown a lot. Like you put a lot more effort into that, and I can tell like you're like, this is exactly what I want to do.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's a character change too.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's why I kind of skip all over it, because it was immaturity. And I think that you have to have the mental maturity to be a true bodybuilder. And I see these, I mean, I'm talking about the girls at least, girls that are coming in at 18, 19, 20, 21, and they think that they're ready to commit themselves to this life. And then they're 23 and they're like, wait, I missed my 20s.
Yeah.
I need to get
And
back
then they go
to that.
back.
And I need to drink and I need to party. It's like,
Or they're
figure
trying
out
to do
your
it in
life
between.
first. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're trying to do
You
it in
can't
between.
take an off-season break
No.
to be 21 again.
Yeah.
You have to. That's why a lot of bodybuilders are older. Like, the pros are all in their, I don't know, I'm not going to
Yeah,
guess ages.
30s,
but
40s. I mean,
exactly.
they're a little bit older. I mean, they're not 21 years old
early
typically.
30s.
Because there's definitely, even like as I've gotten older too, I feel like my best years of bodybuilding, I've gone up and down even as, you know, I feel like most of my life I wanted to be a pro, but I've gone through stages of like years, even that, like after my divorce, where I was just like, I don't want to bodybuild anymore. I'm sick of this. And then I get back into it, you know. I posted a thing the other day where I was like, God, I was tiny in like 2022 or 23 or something. I was like, damn, I really fell off. You know, you just go through phases in life. But I think as you get older, you really realize like if you want to do it or if you don't. It's just a maturity thing. You just realize like, all right, this is exactly what I want to do. And then you realize like, if I'm going to put my time and effort and money into this, like I'm going to put everything I have into it. Like I'm going to actually try. Like when you were 21, you just didn't have the mental capacity to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
So then, what would you say what roles do motivation play for you? Like, and what strategies do you think you use now compared to back then?
Yeah. Motivation comes and goes. It's never
Yeah.
about motivation. It's
But, like-
literally hour by hour your motivation changes. But
This
The
is
way
someone
I-
asking, like, that's obviously not. They have this misconception of what motivation is in bodybuilding, and they see, like, obviously motivation Machiavelli videos and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and they're like, oh, that must be motivation. What do you tune into?
for me, I'm very like black and white. Like my motivation is I have to do this or else it's not going to be the outcome that I want. Like I can't negotiate with myself. I can't say, oh, this will be a reward if you do this. It's you have to do this. This is just what you do. You don't feel good, you do it. It's part of your checklist. And I always try and compare it to people like, I don't work a traditional job. I make my own hours and all that. But I say, well, you go to an office. Can you just decide you don't want to go in at 2 o'clock? Like after your lunch break, you decide you want to go home. You wouldn't do that. So treat everything else like that. If your job and the thing that's giving you money is what decides what you do, you can do the same thing with bodybuilding.
I think that's a cool way you could think about it now is like now that you're a pro, this is a job.
Yeah.
Like you get to be paid to be a pro bodybuilder. Like you may not make any money from the shows, but you're making money from everything else. Your coaching, your sponsorships, like all that stuff is coming directly from the way you look. And you kind of have to look at it the way if you're not doing everything you can and you're not making progress and you're not competing, you're not making money.
Exactly.
So which is kind of cool in a sense too.
Yeah, and I have
because then
to,
it's really worth it.
And that was another thing is I think I was never ready to market myself as a coach and like help other people until I was checking the boxes and walking the walk. You can't.
Yeah. You weren't confident enough in yourself. You knew that you weren't putting everything you had into it, and it was directly affecting your confidence and your ability to project outward into business and other things, in relationships and everything in life. But I think once you started checking those boxes and doing that, that's when you were like, all right, like I don't have this fear of like I'm not ready to coach people, or I'm not able to coach people.
Yeah.
You know.
So then, how would you deal with setbacks? If you were talking to, let's say an athlete of, you know, what's on your roster, and you've been through your own setbacks already, but how would you tell an athlete how to control their setbacks?
I think it's recognizing that you have a setback, first of all, because a lot of people just try and avoid it, and they'll keep making excuses. And then also, I hate to say it, but there's a reason for everything. Like, it's always a lesson learned. Like, you're learning how to deal with that setback. Something terrible happens. No, you didn't need for it to happen to you, but now you'll know what to do if something else comes up.
Yeah.
You know?
You just, I mean, and it could be small. You just miss a meal, you know, you just say, hey, stop being a pussy. Don't miss a meal.
Yeah.
Or a death in the family. That's a big one. You got to learn how to get through that.
Exactly.
You know? So I remember when like Arnold in Pumping Iron was talking about how his dad died and he was in the middle of a prep and he's like, I gotta finish the prep. You know, I don't have time to go to the funeral.
Yeah.
I think I had a friend of mine who competed. It wasn't in Australia. He went to Thailand. He competed there, and when he flew over, his father actually passed away when he got on the plane, boarded, and obviously back then we didn't have Wi-Fi on the phone, like you know, on the plane. And he got to Thailand, and his whole entire family refrained from telling him because they knew that it would just destroy him. Yeah. So he had to do the show. He came home surprised, happy, because he won. He won. And he became, I think it was, I can't remember what pro card they had there for that federation, but he came back, and his mother's like, yeah, this is what's happened.
Damn.
Like, that's a setback. That's like, okay, you just got knocked the fuck out from that. But
you just do the best you can. I mean, life's going to do that to you, especially as you get older. I mean, I'm seeing people die left and right. I mean, family members, friends, where it's not necessarily like bodybuilding or anything. It's just people are getting old. Like it's just the part of life. And it's just, you gotta kind of like be ready for it. You know, the first person that goes, you're like, oh, like you don't really know how to deal with it. And then more go, and you're just like, shit, you can't just stop doing what you're doing in life just because, you know, anything bad happens, you know?
But that's like me being here. Like, my entire family is in Australia.
Yeah.
And I can call them as much as I want, but they have to call me back as well whenever they need it, right? But I can't be like, oh, I'm missing out on all this time, because at the same time, I'm 35 this year. I want to start a family at one point. We want to do a lot of things. We want to travel. This is my family. So I'm creating my own family. And some people, unfortunately, don't understand that you can't always be with those loved ones. You got to have your own life.
Yeah, you have your own life, your own family.
Yeah, like, I mean, you're trying to build. You're trying to build your own family to be successful, to have opportunities for you and your partner to be able to continue on this path. And if someone ever tries to bring someone down about, oh, you know, you're not there for us very often, just understand that that's just the selfishness talking, I would say.
It is, and I feel like those people don't have enough going on with their life, because it just, if you did, you'd realize, you'd understand choices. Like, the best friends are the ones where you haven't seen each other in a year, and you see each other, and you act like nothing happened.
We were like,
exactly, I don't talk to you. I
didn't see you for a year. Like, in Australia, and we came back, and you're like, what's up?
Well, like, but like for us, you know, we usually talk almost damn near every day. I didn't talk too much last week, but it was like, I mean, shit, I was busy, you were busy. Like, it's just, well, I'm not sitting there like, why aren't you texting me, bro?
Dude, you should see, like, me and Trevor like this. He'll send me just something random, some dumb thing, and then I'll send him, like, 3 days later, some other dumb thing, and that's it. That's it.
Literally
there's no conversation around what we just said.
Conversations now.
It's very simple.
Very simple.
Well, all we do is send memes.
Funny meme.
Okay. Next question is, how are you a part of Mutant? That came from someone.
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know this.
Oh.
Someone that likes mutant subs because I had a conversation with them and I'm like, oh, well, you know, she's affiliated with them, but like, well, sponsored athlete, but they're like, oh, I buy the supplements. I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah, we love mutant.
Yeah.
It was after my Samson win. So the first competition I did this year, qualifying me for nationals, Mutant just reached out and they said they liked my stuff. Actually, no, it was Dusty. It was Dusty.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love Dusty.
And I actually followed his wife. Like, I've been following her on Instagram for a while. He goes, my wife pointed you out to me. She thinks you'd be a good fit for Mutant. I think you'd be a good fit for Mutant. And it just went from there. But we've had, like, you know, brief conversations, and I'm a part of the team now, and I'm getting all the insights on what's coming out. But it'll also be my first time, like, actually meeting with them in person at this Olympia. So I'm excited for that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
She's working the booth at the Olympia for
Yeah,
Mutant.
I'll be at the booth. I'm excited.
Nice. So if you're coming to Olympia, Ryan will be at the booth.
It's just been it's crazy because I remember my first Olympia. I've gone every year except for, obviously, 2020 or whatever.
When I was in Florida,
Yeah. We went to Florida one year, though. But
I was in twice
I've been
in Florida,
to every Olympia.
That was terrible.
And I've always said, I'm going to work a booth. And I thought I would be one of the people that signed up to do, like, the bulk supplements, like just the random models.
Well,
This time,
you're
it's
working
legit.
the biggest booth at the
I'm so
Olympia.
excited.
Yeah, they're big.
The biggest mutant, like,
Yeah, it's close
the biggest
to the
booth.
stage, too.
Yeah.
Peek and look. I'm excited.
Yeah, you know what my job is that day, or those 2 days? I'm running around, and she's just going to stand.
He's going to bring me protein
you're
bars.
gonna
bring
You're
us
gonna
like protein snacks.
Do you have anyone in the Amateur Olympia?
Yeah, I got Shannon.
Oh,
And then
nice.
Brandon's coming down. He's got his girlfriend Wendy in it. And
You're gonna have to talk to so many people too. Everyone comes in, and everyone's gonna wanna. They all want a piece of Tolga.
Yeah, he's going to have a lot of athletes here.
Well, I'm going to be with Dom most of the time, going back and forward, because I'm going to shadow him so I can just pay attention and learn as much as I can. But yeah, Brandon's coming in. Brandon Chan from Canada. I think you met him last time he was here. He's coming in. Well, I'm trying to push him, and he watches this. So I'm trying to push him to do the Canadian qualifier for the AMO right now, because he's men's physique and he's in condition. Like, why not just jump on? Like, you got 4 weeks, quick cup down, go in, have some fun.
Yeah, 100%.
More stage time. And then my athlete Shannon, she's a masters figure. She's doing ace of stage, and then she's doing amateur O on the Tuesday, which is going to be back-to-back peak, which is...
that's like 1 week out, huh?
No, it's 4 days.
Friday and then Tuesday.
Yeah, Saturday,
Tuesday. She looks insane.
She looks wild.
Nice.
Well, I just got to bring her legs in a little bit more and then hold that.
Yeah.
But she looks nutty.
Nice.
And then I think we've got... Regan's doing it. Obviously, Keon's in the Olympia. I'm thinking of friends who else are there.
Yeah.
Right?
It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be busy. It's going to be very busy.
It's going to be one of the most exciting Olympias in a while.
I think so.
It's going to be wild.
Keon said he's doing Prague, but he says he just wants to jump into that, not necessarily doing the Open Olympia from what he said. Or do you know? You can't
I'm just
say
gonna
anything. Yeah, you can't
zip
say
my
anything.
lips and
I'll talk about it from a perspective of not knowing because I don't know. So I don't know. I mean, that's gonna be cool because he'll be like Sean, where he'll have 2 qualifications, and then he's got to pick. So that'll be cool to see which one he goes to.
Look, I from my perspective, not that Keon and I have discussed this at all, because I just leave him be, right, when he's training. But in my eyes, as a coach, I'd be like, you're doing that.
Yeah,
You're being hindered in that class. He can stay there for like the next 3-4 years and just keep winning 212. He can, right? But that time he's going to lose to grow tissue, if he originally wants to be in men's open, right? He's going to lose time.
yeah.
He'll get more maturity in the muscle, but the size, you lose the size.
Like even with Flex, Flex won 7 times, but he could have been a lot bigger. I mean, he used to get to play 260 in the offseason, he said.
yeah, but the thing with him is he couldn't eat.
Yeah, that was the
can
problem.
eat.
Yeah,
That's
not an issue.
But he has to
Just keep getting bigger and bigger. And you're right. He's got to let his body grow. I mean, someone with that's that gifted, you just have to kind of let it run.
You got to also remember this. Like, everyone thinks, cutting down or trying to make weight cap is detrimental to your health. Yeah, it is. But so is limiting it from growing. You're stopping it from growing. Your body wants to grow. That's just a lot of fatigue, a lot of I would say, damage that's being circulated around. Because to make weight, look at Urs.
Yeah,
look
Urs,
at the difference in weight
yeah.
he has to make, and then by the time he steps on stage, he's depleted. He's going on stage at like 80%. His conditioning might be 100%, but he's going at 80% on stage for classic. Then to go to open, he's going at 100%. His body's just loving it.
Yeah.
It's the same like with Ranya. If I kept her in women's physique, she's at 90%. There's no weight cap, but she's just too big.
Well,
And it'd be even
when I
more
was
detrimental over time, too.
wellness,
And what?
Even when I was wellness, my upper body was just way too big. And I didn't see the connection to that to women's physique or even bodybuilding. But, like, I just continued to grow.
We need at least 10 to 15 pounds of muscle tissue on her.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. But like once that goes on and that's solidified over the next year, and then bring it down,
Yep.
different physique.
Yep.
And that actually ties into a very, very important question I got asked. Ranya, do you think you can dethrone Andrea Shaw?
Dethrone. Wow.
Dethrone is
These are big words.
crazy.
That's not my words. I'm just collecting
Listen,
the.
I got fourth at my pro debut. I will take that. I am very happy with that. I am not expecting to throw Olympians off a stage. But if you asked me 6 months ago if I think I could even stand next to some of the Olympians, I would say no way. Now that I've actually stood next to some of the other pros that are now Olympia qualified, I could see me at least getting to the Olympia stage.
Well, that's the aim anyway for next year.
Yeah.
I think you can do it. I think you have a mix between full muscle and shape. And a lot of the girls that go into bodybuilding are able to put on a lot of muscle, but they don't have good shape. And or as they grow, their shape gets kind of like funky looking. And I think as you grow, you keep your waist small, you keep that flare, wide shoulders, flaring quads, like you'll be good.
Yeah.
And very important, you're feminine, which I think that's a very big one because especially if they want to keep women's bodybuilding popular, they cannot let it turn into what it was like 15 years ago. It just turns into a fucking freak show. I mean, even with the bodybuilders, like the bodybuilders' distension in the waist and everything, that went away. Guys don't have distension anymore because they said, we don't want this. The same thing with women. Like, we don't want women to get too overly masculine. And if anything, you look more feminine. Like, really. Like,
Thank you.
honestly, like, as you've grown bigger, like, it's like your body wants to be like this,
Yeah.
That's a lot of things that, there's a lot of check boxes here you got to understand with like female bodybuilding. It's don't push too fast, too soon. Take your time, marinate in what you're doing, enjoy it. Because at the same time, if you start pushing too fast, that's where all the problems happen. Unfortunately, in women's bodybuilding and women's physique, if you're just not built genetically to put on tissue that way and stay feminine, you aren't built for that sport. That's the way I see it.
Exactly.
You're meant to be in a smaller class. If your voice is the first thing to go, which is 99% of women, that's understandable because no matter what you do, PEDs are going to change that.
There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you could take. Anavar, you could take any drug at a low dose and it'll...
But the minute you start noticing your jawline is changing, you're masculizing in the face, your hair's starting to fall out, you're starting to look very like aged, you're getting acne all over the place, that realm that you're in right now, that's not your category.
No.
You weren't meant to be this big.
That is a very big genetic, just like kind of like on the guys' end, like the health genetics, the guys that can take more drugs and not have any problems. It's kind of the same thing with women. You can take more drugs. You're not necessarily going to have, you don't really see women have health issues. Like I just don't think women get big enough or take enough drugs to really get into that, but they start masculinizing. And there are women like you and Renee, like you guys just don't, like your voice doesn't change. You don't have any issues with like hair loss. Your skin stays perfect. You look really feminine. Like you don't even look like you're taking steroids. Like
it's all about timing as well. Like your duration of exposure for a female. As a guy,
I think that's really important.
As a guy, you can blast all year long as long as your labs look good and you're happy with doing that and you don't care about your health. Then keep doing it.
It's more about health.
Yeah. Not saying that you should do that, but I'm saying is if your health is looking great, in AKA someone across the table from me, but if you're a female, you should not be doing it all year long. Look, some women do. I know some women, like female bodybuilders that just stay on all year round.
But over time,
like you're microdosing primobolan and all this stuff.
You're limiting your time to be able to be a bodybuilder. I mean, by the time you're 40, you're gonna look aged as hell. You can't take steroids for 10 years, like male hormones or derivatives of male hormones for 10 years as a woman, and in super physiological doses, and expect to stay feminine. It's just not like you're. There's no possible way that's going to happen. For men, whatever. You look a little older. You look a little more silver fox. Like whatever. Like you're big.
I can tell you now without exposing anyone. Okay, this is the protocol most prep coaches use for females: 10 to 12 weeks on, 6 to 8 weeks off. That is the normal protocol for females when they're competing or in their off season trying to use drugs. That's what I see. Right. Now, majority of the coaches don't tell that to the athlete. They just do it.
Yeah,
they just go, okay, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Off you go. I'm the coach that says, hey, we are doing this for this long, and I explain it. And some people go, whoa, 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 whoa. That's too much. That's crazy. Why? Because I explained the process to you. Yeah. But if I didn't explain the process to you and just told you this is how you're just going to do this.
Yep.
But I didn't explain anything to you, you would have been okay just doing it because you're naive and not thinking about it. I'm bringing it to the forefront by making you understand this is how long you're doing this. I want you to understand this is the duration of exposure and this is the time off period that you're going to have. And then we'll check labs. If we need more time, we'll take more time off.
Yeah.
But I get shunned for it, which is interesting because I point out, hey, this is wrong.
Yep.
This is wrong. We need to do it like this. This is how I want you to do it because I want you to be safe. If I was the other coach or the other coaches and not said anything, they would just be like, yep, cool, no worries, let's just do it.
Yeah.
But because I bring it to the forefront, they're like, oh, I'm not cool with that. Sorry, you're not the coach for me, and they move on. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Go take your 100 milligrams of primobolan a day. Go for it, man. What was your proudest moment in your journey so far? That's what one of the questions are. So I'm just asking. We've just been through a lot of proud moments here, but what would be the most key defining moment?
I think just showing up to the Tampa Pro, because then it was like I got the pro card. I've made it this far. I'm stepping on a pro stage, and it was just going out with a bang.
That's a good one because not a lot of people would want to step on a pro stage that early.
Yeah,
because even though we all knew you're going to crush USA. I mean, it was obvious. But like going up to the next level is like it's like that pit of your stomach. Like holy shit! Like, am I going to get killed? Am I going to do okay? I know I'm not going to win, but can I at least like stand next to them? Like, what am I gonna? You're in that position of like I don't really know what's going to happen. Like you have no idea. Like you really have no idea what's going to happen.
And I think I was probably the most like emotionally distraught.
Oh, really?
Emotionally distraught? Really? I didn't hear about this.
I got off
It's not my place to
stage.
say shit.
I got off stage and I like started tearing up. I was like, I look like shit. That was so bad. Well, because I was shaking like a leaf. Everyone shakes.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna shake. You're pumping up for 30 minutes beforehand.
And when you
it's cold, you're scared. It's
and when you see those girls backstage, you're like, holy shit.
And it's quiet. It's not like an NPC show
They don't
where
talk.
everyone's like giggling and talking. No, we're silent. We're in our own corners. We're in our own. It's like war. Like
the
it was
professional
pretty
level.
intense back there. It was cool though.
Yeah, it is cool. There's money on the line at this point. Like you winning and losing, like fuck the little paycheck they pay you, but like that's a big deal for sponsors for who you are. Like you're fucking fighting each other for it.
Yeah. And when all the girls, we went off stage and there were girls going to sign their checks, and I was like, "Oh, what are we doing over there?" They're like, "Oh, you don't need to worry about that." I was like, "I have no clue."
Thanks.
They're getting their checks. I'm like, "Oh, that's not for me."
I'll take a slice then. Have you got cake over there? Okay, so then what is it like? Someone's asked, what is it like your husband coaching you? My husband is currently coaching me. Any advice on how to maintain the relationship?
I think that we work really well together as coach and partner because of the type of coach you are. I think that it doesn't apply to...
What type of coach am I?
Well, I'll get there.
Yeah, you gotta explain that.
You never just look at the plan and go, okay, this is what we're changing. That'll be it. You overthink everything, but in the best way possible. You go back through all the data. You look back to how I responded to a certain carb months ago. You like pull yourself out of the situation. You've remained completely unbiased, except for when it comes to my health. Like that, obviously, you're like very invested in, and you care about that as my partner and my coach.
I'm like that with a lot of people as well, though.
But when it comes
like to the health,
no, exactly. That's how you are as a coach in general. You, on an emotional standpoint, you care about their health. But when it comes to, because for me, I know my weak point as a coach is if my client complains like I'm hungry or I miss cheese or I miss this, I'm like, okay, well, we can probably fit it in. You would never do that.
Oh, hell no. And I've done it on special occasions, right? Like when you were in, like, I think it was 6 weeks out from the USA, you're like, I really want to have this. I'm like, okay, let's add it in. Let's work it in.
But it was you. But the thing is when I do that, I'm like, oh, I just get a free meal because I asked. You're like, no, I've been planning this for months. I just didn't tell you because if you're
he's
thinking
using your
about
feedback, rather than him saying, hey, we're going to do this at this time, he's waiting for your feedback to go, okay, now it's time.
Yeah.
Well, that's something I've noticed. Like coaching from my point of view, right? Coaching your wife is fucking stressful as fuck. I have new gray hairs over here. And
wait till it all just falls out like mine.
It won't. It will not. We got the genetic testing. It says I won't have any problems with hair. The only reason I'm having the hair problem at the moment is I was pushing my T3 and T4 way too high.
Yeah, that'll make your hair start to fall out.
I was like, okay, cool. I'm sweet. This shit ain't going nowhere. Thanks, Dad.
Thanks.
But yeah, my biggest thing is the stress. You got to look at it in 3 ways, I would say. First way is, yes, you're a coach, so you have to do your job because this is someone else's reputation. It's not my reputation. I couldn't give a shit about my reputation or my business on the line for this. It's more like, how can I make this woman represent herself the best on that stage? Because at the end of the day, the eyes go towards the athlete. They don't go towards the coach. The coach is there to do their job. That's why they get paid. The publicity needs to go to the athlete. Second of all, it's my wife. I want to make sure she's proud of the packages she's brought. Third of all, the stress that you get from that is having to be that asshole that goes, no, it's not happening. I'm sorry. You want this? It's just not fucking happening. Hey, I'm listening to you, but it can't happen. I know you're tired. I know you're hungry. I know your feet hurt. I know your arms hurt. I know you got a migraine. Get on the fucking Stairmaster. Yeah. Shut the fuck up and do it. Because
I know that was a tough one for you, like the cardio towards the end.
Yeah, cardio is rough for me.
Well, because you're doing it for so long too. You're prepping for 8 months, something crazy. Like now, longer than that, I think. Even
if I'm subjective, right? What do we get your cardio up to at the end? It was like 45 minutes fasted, right? Yeah. I could have pushed her a lot harder, but at what cost? Right? Her thing is her legs will wash out. So as we got closer to the show, I started pulling cardio back and then replacing it with other stuff by adding maybe a set or 2 more to training or making her go for like just a light walk after meals by adding that sort of movement in. That adds up over time. If I pushed her too hard at the beginning of the prep, we'd have nowhere to go.
Yeah. That's a mistake a lot of people make. A lot of coaches, they go so hard out the gate with everything. I mean, they pull on every string they can. Every fat burner, cardio, lowering calories. They get to 8 weeks out, 6 weeks out, and there's nowhere left to go. And then it's done from there. I mean, the prep's over.
Yeah, like I usually ramp cardio up. I would say not at the very beginning, but towards the middle.
Yeah,
and get most of it done. So then by week 4, 3, you're just cruising in, and then you pull back, feed up a little bit. See how the body adjusts. If it doesn't like it, okay, let's just take some of that cardio that we've taken out and put it towards just walking around.
Yep.
Go do some steps.
Yeah.
Like when people say, "Oh, what do you track, steps or cardio?" I'm like, both.
Both. Yeah.
But like
they're both energy output.
Yeah.
Like wow.
But I keep them separate. So like, if an athlete's doing, let's say, 8,000 steps a day, and that's the minimum of what they're actually already doing baseline, we go, okay, that's what we're gonna do. And we're going to add in this much cardio. But your steps from your cardio don't include into your steps daily.
Yep.
If you do that, then you're really only just doing 8,000. The rest of the day, you're just sitting there.
Yeah.
Because I can bang out 8,000 steps on the Stairmaster easy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know how you can, if you do it fast enough.
Yeah.
And I go by calories burned. Like I used to do by minutes. But the thing is, minutes for one person, or minutes for one person is different to another. Each person's going to get a different amount of cardio or calories burned.
And over time, your body becomes accustomed to cardio too. I think we acclimate to cardio faster than anything. So I think that's actually going back to your thing saying that you ramp cardio in the middle, probably one of the most important things, because if you ramp cardio too quickly, you're gassing out that part of leaning down very, very quickly in the beginning.
We have 3 ways we can get body fat to come off a person and create an energy deficit. That's cardio, that's diet, and drugs.
Yep.
Right? What do you think I'm going to lean into first?
Always the diet. Yeah. Yeah, because it's the easiest one, especially because like when you're coming off of very high calories in the off season.
Just pull 500 off the daily intake and you're sweet.
And mentally, that athlete feels great. They're like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I'm not eating that much anymore. They feel great.
And
they're not hungry. They still got great energy.
And that's what your pre-prep phase is for.
Yep.
That 1 month to 2 months before prep starts is about washing fatigue, getting the body nice and fresh, getting acclimated to what we're about to do, and get adjusted. And then once prep starts, okay, don't pull calories.
Yep.
Push cardio.
Yep.
Because I'd rather give you 4,000 calories or 3,000 calories than give you 1,500 calories and 2 hours of cardio. And some people like complain to me, and you know who you are, they're currently in prep, they're complaining to me that, oh man, I'm just eating so much food, but I'm doing so much cardio. I'm like, why are you complaining about the food? Yeah. Do you want me to take food away from you? Is that what you're asking me to do? Because you're fucking peeled right now. Oh, but like, I think if we lowered the food and then pushed the cardio up, it's a better, way of doing it. No. You need the food, especially when you're trying to hold muscle. Unless you're like a bikini girl, then you can, you don't care if you lose a little bit of muscle, but like the point is to hold as much muscle as you can. If anything, grow. Like, but that was honestly
why do we want to shrink and do a show?
Yeah. That is honestly a big thing for me with her was she required so much goddamn food to fill up, to just fill for that show. Like, I think for Samson, we went with something pretty moderate. It was like 300, 400 carbs 2 days in a row. Well, nothing special. I kept protein to a minimum. And then for USA's, a lot of food.
Yeah.
And then for Tampa, it was double the food. And we just kept collecting, like, how much food can she put in to fill up. I had a log somewhere at home. I think I've written it all out. Yeah. But it was just stupid amounts of food.
Probably she's burning through it because she was just more stressed.
She was holding it. Yeah. She got drier, fuller, more vascular. But the thing is, man, these shows have to do something about the AC. You can't have it blistering cold.
Dude, it's freezing backstage.
You can't have
it's freezing backstage and then sweating on stage. So it's like...
Yeah, but you cannot get a pump.
Yeah.
You can't get your your vascularization out.
And I get it because they're trying to make sure your tan doesn't run. But at the same time, like if it's not warm enough to where you can't pump up, you're
Listen, if your tan is running on stage, that means you just weren't peeled enough for you to be able to pull the water from your subcutaneous layer into it.
I've never sweat on stage. Like I can't. Like if I'm in shape, I just don't sweat.
But some people will. Like, for example, Trevor did because he just wasn't 100% there, but also he has no conditioning when it comes to posing.
Yeah, that's different.
Ranya had great conditioning for posing. She was brilliant. Posing after posing after posing. Plus, I posed her, like, up to the show, every day she was practicing posing in the morning and I think at night and then also between training.
After every meal I posed.
After every meal she posed. It's a lot of posing. That's a lot of conditioning work. So she just broke a sweat at finals, I believe. No, you broke a sweat at prejudging.
I mean, it was Florida. It's humid.
Yeah, Florida's humid too. That's another thing is what's the climate where you're competing? Because out here, you're used to it. You're not going to sweat.
Yeah, here was
in Florida.
It's dry here, man. Like, you're not going to sweat at all. But that's the thing. At USA's, it wasn't as cold as it was in Florida. Like, I was sitting there shivering in the, like, at the Tim Gardner show. I'm like, holy crap. Like, I'm shivering. What the hell? But yeah. So, did you always want to be a women's bodybuilder is the question.
I've always admired female muscle. I think females look better with muscle. I think it gives us better shape. I think it is just as nice as men with muscle. Like, the more space you can take up, the bigger you can make your shape, the more attractive it is. Yeah. So, yeah, I've always thought that this would look really cool to look at.
Okay, cool.
And it is.
Well, someone said, Ranya, I'm a very big fan. Thank you for inspiring me to be healthy and fit. But is it hard to find clothes that fit for a woman your size?
Yes. I think it is for anyone with muscle.
Where do you shop?
I shop Gas and Better Bodies.
Yeah, there you go.
For jeans, American Eagle.
The Gas.
And that's it.
Jeans American Eagle? I like American Eagle jeans too.
They have stretchy
a lot
I've been converted.
Yeah.
I have been converted.
Yeah.
He wears American
and they have good
jeans
style
now.
too. Like they actually have like good style there. Yeah.
The jeans are so comfortable.
Yeah.
Like they stretch. So I'm like, okay, like the jeans in Australia are just ridiculous. It's like you're wearing cardboard and you go to stretch, like it will rip.
Yeah.
It will rip.
And you want them, especially if you have big legs, you want them tapered to your leg, like to your ankle, to your leg, to your knee. Otherwise, you just look fat, funny looking, like you have like parachute pants because you're just trying to fit them.
This isn't a question for you and I because I don't know who he is, and maybe you don't either. But Jason,
Yes.
is Joey Swole good or bad for the gym culture? You probably know him. I've never heard of him.
I've taught. You don't know Joey Swole?
Nope.
You don't know Joey Swole?
He knows who he is.
Do I?
You don't know
You
who
don't know
Joey Swole is? The
personally.
dude who like says do better, and he's like critiques people like that are filming other people
This
in
is
the
the thing
gym.
with
saying-
faces. I'm very good with like.
He's
once I
bald
see
guy. He's
something-
always got the hat on.
Nope. See, I know a lot of bald
big
guys with a hat
dude.
on. One's staring in front of me right now.
I've actually talked to Joey Swole like in person a couple times. He's the nicest dude, and this was before he did any of this shit. Like before he was just like a shreds guy back then. He was super super nice. I talked to him a couple times in TG. Is it good for what he's doing in the industry? I think he reaches sometimes with some people. Like I think he just needs content. So like he's always trying to like find like the next like big viral video to like shit on someone for like filming someone or saying they're like a creep in the gym or whatever.
There's a lot of people that do that though.
Yeah, but like some of the videos he does, like those people are reaching really hard. Like not all of them, but like some of the girls that are filming and like say like, oh, the guy in the background's like looking at me or taking a photo of me when the guy's literally just like looking down at his phone and doesn't give a shit about you.
I've been in that position before.
That needs to be called out. Like that is bad because you're making that guy look terrible. Like treating a guy like he's a creep or like a sexual predator when he's literally just working out in the gym is horrible. And to be like painted as that type of person as a man has got to be like it's the worst feeling. Not saying that I've but like if you have someone, well, I guess I kind of, if you have a girl, whether you did something, if you didn't do anything, you have a girl saying like you're a woman beater or you're like a horrible person or you're like a creep. It's the worst feeling in the world when you're like, I didn't do anything to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like that should be really reserved for the people who deserve it. Like it's not a good thing to label a man that. So I think those people should be called out. But then there are a couple where I'm like, that guy's a little weird. You know, you probably shouldn't be that close to her. So I think there are times for it and there are times aren't.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm guilty. I film my wife every day.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you terrible.
She never calls me a creep once.
I think that everyone's in the gym doing their own thing. Yes, of course, there are some creeps, but also if you just, as a female, look super jacked, no one is going to bother you at the gym.
No.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
get some more muscle and you'll be fine.
That's
You'll be safe.
that's the fix for a lot of things in life. Just get really big and people stop bothering you.
Yeah.
No one's gonna want to fight you. No one's gonna want to bother you in the gym. Like you just get left alone.
They're just going to want to ask what you eat.
Yeah, there you go. They'll call to you and be like, "Whoa, bro! Like, how
What
do
do you
get
eat?
big?"
What are your calories at right now?
Male
That's like the
thing.
most common question I ever get asked. I'm like, don't look at me. Ask her, man.
Yeah.
I'm a stick right here. I've got the same size bicep, like size as my wife. That's so depressing. So, what is the hardest part about dieting and building a great relationship with food? That's from our lovely young man Samson, who's coming over this weekend.
I think
That was directed to you and then you.
Oh yeah.
He already knows my answer. Shut the fuck up.
I think a lot of people associate feelings with food, and that's where it starts to get tricky. And the more you can remove emotion from literally what you're fueling yourself with, if you can just think of it as like, I don't know, like toothpaste or shampoo or something that you just put on your body. It's what you use to clean yourself. It's what you use to fuel yourself. It's that simple. It doesn't have to be, oh, this food makes me feel good, or I want this food to make. Food will not make you feel good.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you those feelings. It's your gratification. that makes you feel that way.
I agree. It's fuel. And I've had bad relationships with food. When I first started competing, I had horrible relationships with food. I mean, to where like any little thing I did that was considered cheating or off plan would make me feel horrible and guilty. And I just never talked about it because I was like, I'm a man, I can't talk about these things. But like I remember being like, kid, because Boston trained me for my first shows. Boston is fucking hell when it comes to diet. Like if you're prepping for a show, you follow every single thing he says. And if you're off plan at all, you're pussy.
Like, I believe it.
Yeah.
I 100%
and that's why
believe
I was in my best shape with him, because he would diet the hell out of me. But being back then and not really understanding like emotional relationships with food, like even post show when I'm like, all right, I can relax a little bit, I feel horrible eating like anything that wasn't on plan. And, you know, boss is my friend, but he would make you feel like shit. He'd be like, dude, you're fucking watery, you look like shit, like get back on plan, like 100%. I'm like, dude, I just competed, like, I'm like, fuck, man, like, and he'll be like, yeah, just one meal after the show, then back on plan on Sunday, like that type of guy. And now I've kind of just realized, like, food is fuel. I'm never going to feel bad if I, like, throw in a donut or something, you know, here and there. But I also know how to control myself. Like, there would be times, like, my first show I did with him at, well, I did 3 shows, but after I was done competing there, when I was 19, I gained 40 pounds in a week after that show. Like, it was horrible. And now I realize like overeating makes me feel like shit. So like when I'm past a dieting phase, whether it's prep or just a dieting phase, I know like to control myself because I know I just don't want to feel bad. But I'm not going to make myself feel bad to be like, hey, I'm going to eat a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Like I know how to control myself now and enjoy the food without feeling guilty. And I think like for people who are binging, they have that bad relationship with food. And I think it's because they feel guilty about it. So they eat as much as they can in that small window, so they only feel bad for that small little window. Versus like if they didn't feel guilty about eating those foods ever, they would be more likely to eat less and just be like, yeah, I enjoy it. Cool, I'm full. I'm done, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Going back to what Boston, how strict he was, I can tell you why he's so strict and why I am so strict with athletes. And a lot of coaches are. Don't get me wrong. A lot of coaches are very, very strict with the athletes and diet because they know this is what your original goal was.
Yep.
You wanted to compete, you wanted to do this, you want to be great. But you're the one that's in control of what goes in your mouth. So if we can be that person that says, hey man, that's really not a good choice, is it? You wanted more from yourself. And my job is to bring that out of you. Who are you letting down here? You letting me down? You letting yourself down?
Yeah.
That's something that a coach has to actually be able to have a conversation and communicate with. I've had this conversation, I think, with a lot of people, and Samson was one of the biggest ones who I asked this question. And I told him, look, I can be that dickhead if you want me to be that dickhead, like that asshole, and be like, no, fuck you, not eating, you're going to suffer. But that's not the way I am. I'm going to tell you, hey, look, you came to me with these goals. You want to do these goals? Okay. But it requires some certain level of sacrifice that's easy. People think, oh, I sacrifice my meals, I'm suffering, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You're not suffering, you're choosing to do this.
It's a choice to do it.
It's a choice. No one told you, here's a gun, you can't eat this meal.
Yeah.
No one said that.
And
no one's telling you to do 45 minutes of cardio and saying if you don't do it, it's the end of the world. No, you have to do it because that's what the data tells us for you to do.
Yep. And just like training, you know, we all love training. You should enjoy the process of dieting. You should enjoy your food. You have to learn to enjoy rice, enjoy potatoes, like enjoy chicken or beef. Like if you don't enjoy those foods, like sorry, you're just not made. You're not meant for this. Yeah. Just like if you don't enjoy squatting, you're not going to be a bodybuilder. I don't know what to tell you. Like
we're going to have Hayden on the podcast whenever you want to do it with him.
Oh yeah.
Him and I were having this conversation at New Tech yesterday. Oh no, yesterday, the day before. And we were just talking about food option. He goes, man, because he's with Patrick Tour, right? And I was just asking how he's finding it and how how is he responsive to what he's doing? And he goes, dude, it was the best choice I've ever made. Yeah. I'm like, why? Give me some answers. He goes, I tell you now. He goes, Patrick really made me understand that a cheat meal is a cheat meal for the week. Yep. You don't need a cheat meal. You just need more rice and carbs and fats from food.
Yep.
But you're associating it with a reward. Your reward should be the same as what you're having already. It's like, okay, cool. This is what I'm having. That's why I love going for sushi.
That's literally, I was about to say, like, sushi is like my cheat meal. Like I love
We
sushi.
go there. We went there the other week.
Yeah,
What do we do?
and it's great.
Smash down
But
a whole.
More rice and fish.
More rice and fish, but I love it. It's so good,
Yeah.
and it's like I consider that like my cheat meal, but it's still on par with what my goals.
Yeah, and as I'm getting older and I'm noticing trends on, my lab work, my health markers, and I'm going, okay, I got to really start dialing it back with the junk food, which I have. I'm not, honestly, don't get me wrong, I eat very, very healthy. My wife is right there. But I do have tendencies where I want to snack a little bit. And I go for like pretzels. I go for like granola. I go for rice cakes. I go for fruit.
little things. Yeah.
I'm a big fruit whore. Like I just literally am. I will eat a whole goddamn pineapple. I'll eat a whole goddamn watermelon or a whole melon. And I love fruit. So to me, I'd rather binge eat fruit because I know it's lots of micronutrients and antioxidants. But at the same time, fruit has less calories.
Yeah.
And I'm fuller quicker. For longer.
The density, there's so much volume of food.
So much water in all the fruit. So I just prefer, look, I don't binge eat. I'm just saying that as a thing, but I enjoy fruit. I like fresh fruit. And I've always had fruit in the house. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm very picky with my fruit picking. But yeah, I just think as a coach, I view it as you need to be understanding that you've decided to do these things. And when you get given a sushi refeed or a cheat meal or a refeed, there's got to be a specific reason for it. So like when someone goes, just go for a refeed once a week. Okay, you can do that with certain clients that are on track, that can control themselves. But when it comes to a client that cannot control themselves,
you can't do that.
you can't do that.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be, limited, and I won't use certain words that I've been thrown at before, if you're going to be limited, you're better off being limited with unprocessed foods than processed foods.
Yes.
The more processed foods that go into your system, the slower your digestion slows down, the quicker you have malabsorption of things because it's processed as shit. You're not getting the nutrients in a clean manner. You're getting nutrients in a shit manner. You are what you eat.
And I think there's a point in bodybuilding and just in life in general where you get old enough to where you're like, I just can't eat these foods. Like you wouldn't eat a food you're allergic to, right? So why would you eat an ultra processed food that fucks up your digestion, that makes you feel like shit, that's not conducive for any type of health goal or bodybuilding goal, and the next day you wake up and you're like, I can't even eat my breakfast because like this shit's just sitting in my stomach. There's just a point where you're like, I can't have that anymore. Like I can't have like a burger from this place, or I can't have a Domino's pizza anymore because of the red sauce because it gives me acid reflux. Like you just have to realize, like, just give that shit up.
Yeah.
There's so many other foods. Like just because you can't have that doesn't mean you're like limited. Just stop eating that stupid shit. Like sushi's great. I eat cereal on my high days. I love cereal. You know what I mean? Rice Krispie treats. Like I'm not limited in my food at all whatsoever with what you give me.
And when people, like especially with you, I tell them, hey man, Rice Krispie treats are good, cereal's good. Just make sure you choose like a decent-ish cereal.
cereal. Yeah,
There's nothing wrong
less
with
fat.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Yeah. It's got some preservatives in it, but like everything has to have preservatives in it.
I usually do Lucky Charms or Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
Perfect. Digest easy.
Quick after training, off you go. Like I'm starting to notice, we did a genetic test just recently, and hers was very interesting. Mine was not going to talk about mine. But what did you learn from your genetic test that we just did?
I'm lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
But exactly what you said, like that's something that I've always kind of known, and I know that I feel like shit after I have dairy.
Yeah.
So why would I keep doing that to myself? Like just because I didn't have anaphylactic shock and die,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep
Where it's
doing
like-
that.
And it's like, you want a burger, right? You can still have a burger. Just take off the cheese, add whatever sauce you want, and go to a place that either makes it where you can
make it at
tolerate it,
home.
or make it at home.
Yeah.
Like, I just,
And that's
like,
another thing, I think, making food at home, not buying prepackaged food, not because it's bad for you, but because there's gratification in making your own meal, making it pretty, eating it, enjoying it, and like making it good and also being good. Like,
I think that's one thing, a problem as Americans, is the food is so easily accessible. And just, I mean, you could just
It's
go
cheaper
get
to eat out.
And I think you don't get the same gratification as like cooking, making your food the same way. And
Dude, all
eating
you can
out
eat
is just
sushi
easy.
is $35.
I know. It's cheap.
You could sit there for 2 whole hours and eat your entire day's worth of like
calories.
literally, and walk out.
I do the macros on MyFitnessPal. Every time I go, I'm like, fuck, I'm like 2,000 calories deep on this meal. Oh my God.
But like with Trevor, I have to give him, like when I tell him, man, we need more food, I need you to go have this in prep, like as a refeed.
Yeah.
It's got to be a burger.
Yeah.
It can't be, like I can give him sushi, but the thing is, the volume is so big.
Yeah, it's just going to distend his stomach.
Distends him. So it's like, okay.
But a more dense food like a burger for him works.
2 In-N-Out double doubles and a fries. And he's like, all right, done.
Yeah. But there's a reason you choose In-N-Out over Wendy's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But I tell him, take the cheese out, take this out.
Exactly.
Put
Things
the
that
salad in, put tomatoes
That's
in,
how-
put onions you can have, like, within that certain period of time.
When Boston did refeeds for me, that's what he did. He's like, this is exactly what you're eating. Like, you're going to go to this place, you're going to get this, you're going to get this and do this. Like, he told me exactly how to do it. So, and I only had 2 the whole prep. Like, he was very strict on that in 5 months.
Yeah, I was the same with my prep with Steve. When I was trying to get down to like low body fat percentages, we've spoken about like all the crazy shit I did. There was no refeeds.
No.
I went full keto for 8 months.
Yeah, because Boston started with the keto,
Yeah, because he goes, I need to make you as sensitive as possible. I'm like, okay. And he did. And the minute I started putting carbs in, I only needed 150 grams of carbs to like fill out like hard. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. But no one's going to be crazy enough to do what I did.
Yeah.
Like I know one other person that could do this, and that's Matt from Australia, Team ESPM. He is the only other coach I know that's crazy, and Kevin from KBO Conditioning Australia. Those 2 boys in Australia are nuts. They'll do everything and anything to get fucking peeled.
Yeah. A lot of the guys that are not American, like the European guys, the UK guys, they don't give a shit. That's why they get so shredded. Like they will die for this. They don't care.
I saw check-ins from Matt from when he showed me Kevin's check-ins for like the last Vic USA's. Not USA's, Vic Nationals. And I'm looking at it going, holy shit, I can see that guy's like the little veins that go across his glutes. Like the little ones.
Yeah.
The vessels. You can see them on his glutes. I'm like, that's disgusting.
Yeah. Peeled.
And he was like, yeah, I still had like 3-4 pounds of fat to lose. Where? Where the fuck was the 3 to 4 pounds to lose, bro?
Crazy.
But feminine while on cycle, how do you stay feminine while balancing this much muscle compared to other women's bodybuilders?
I think that's a broad topic. I think everyone is going to claim they're on low doses, but I genuinely am on low doses for short planned periods of time. We take health phases very seriously. Like, main priority when I get off is to get the menstrual cycle back, right? Covering all the bases, having the hormone support in.
That's really important too. You can't just come off steroids. You have to get everything back to normal.
Yeah.
Normal menstrual cycle, like get your female hormones back to where they are, because otherwise you're basically just a 60-year-old lady in menopause. At that point, you have nothing working properly.
But that's why I keep TRT in. Some people just pull and rip it out. And I'm like, no. Like, don't rip everything out. If you're a guy, you can rip everything out.
Yeah.
You can if you want to. Not saying that you should. But if you really want to make real progress, okay, keep pushing a little bit longer, 4, 5, 6 weeks. But as a female, unless you got another show coming up, you either come down in dosages, then you can ramp back up. You got no other choice but to pull.
Yep.
If you're serious about your femininity, you need to pull everything as quickly as possible and out of your system and try and re-regulate your system back to normal. And that also means that, you're not going to really give a shit about how much body fat goes on within that 6-week period, because that can come off again after that 6-week period. It's about trying to get
It'll come off very easily. Yeah.
If you want to stay feminine, you need to come off, not come down to 50% off-season dosages. Off. Every single person I've ever discussed this with has told the same thing. Like, me and Dom agree. If a female does a show, and they've done shows for a very long time, especially in this case, we've had on-off periods throughout the entire year doing 3 back-to-back shows. There needs to be time on-off planned, but the cycle needs to be on-off at all times as well.
You can't just push the whole time. Like, if she pushed from when she started prep for the Samson all the way through the Samson, all the way into the prep for USA, like, you're causing more damage. At 35, 40 years old, you're going to see that damage.
Yep. And
you're
I
gonna
want
be like,
kids, so
fuck. Yeah.
so does she. We want to have kids in the future. You can't just
That's
stay on all year.
especially, yeah. Guys, you can just kind of brute force your fertility back to normal. Women,
Yeah, which I just did.
Yeah.
And it sucked.
but for women, it's definitely a lot more like you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you can definitely make yourself, in a sense, permanently infertile or very difficult to have children.
Yep.
So you have to be very aware of everything going on. I did labs, every like 2 months?
Yep.
Constantly doing labs.
we
I don't
did
care how
labs.
much it costs. I care about my health, and I think that's a lot of girls. Even if you're on birth control and you've never had labs done before,
That blows my fucking
Let's talk about
mind.
that. That's actually
And
a
we were
very
talking
good
about-
topic we're
Yeah.
going to talk about.
An estradiol or progesterone-based birth control.
Mm-hmm.
You go into a doctor, you're a minor, no lab work
15,
pulled,
16.
and they're like, "Oh, you have issues with your menstrual cycle; it's hurting, or like you just want to be on birth control because you don't want to get pregnant. Here you go. Here's a year worth of birth control. What in the fuck is that? That is insanity.
We were discussing this yesterday.
That is a year's worth of a drug that you don't even know how they're gonna really respond to. Like, what they're gonna check up with you in a year, and they didn't even check blood work to see like what would be the best like type of birth control. There's so many different types. Like, there's not just one type of birth control.
They literally have you
crazy to
pick a
me.
pamphlet, all the options. You pick what your friend has, right? Because
Yeah.
her mom got her this birth control. You're 16. You go to your doctor. You ask for birth control. They hand you hormone therapy at 16 when you're in your most sensitive, impressionable time in your life. And then you start to gain weight or you start to have harsh periods. And the birth control was supposed to fix it. And then 5 years later, I think I got off birth control the second I found out what bodybuilding was.
Yeah.
When I started understanding it, I went straight to non-hormonal, to a copper IUD. And then I think maybe a year in to even having that, it's non-hormonal, so it didn't matter. But I read The Women's Guide to Hormonal Healing, and it like broke down everything about birth control. And I was in shock. I literally texted every girl I
Lacey
knew. I
Dunn's
was like,
book.
go read this book.
Yeah.
Are you on birth control? Have you been on birth control for 10 years? Like,
I know
you don't
we
know anything about it.
Right. And I know we don't because it's been so indoctrinated in you.
Yeah.
And a 16-year-old kid doesn't know how to pick out their own medication. They don't even know anything about their body at that point.
We can't pay attention to side effects.
No,
we don't know
you
if
don't
we're
know anything.
moodier
You
or if
haven't
we
been
are
living
growing
long
hair.
enough to even know what's
Yeah.
going on. Like, and you're just hitting puberty. I mean, I know we don't have the best contraceptives for men, but goddamn, giving a contraceptive to a man, yeah, I know
Just
vasectomy.
give it a step.
Yeah, but like, it's much more reasonable to give a contraceptive to a man than a woman. It makes no fucking sense.
It's
to me.
also more reasonable to explain to women how they get pregnant. It's not
Yes.
just understanding ovulation and understanding tracking your period. How come I didn't know that before I went on birth control and I decided not to take the sugar pills? I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing.
So I was having this conversation with Dom. I don't know if you overheard the conversation yesterday. And I was like, hey, so this is what's happening with Ranya's menstrual cycle. I'm doing this. And I wanted a second opinion. He goes, look, are you tracking her body temperature? I'm like, yeah, we were until a ring busted out, which we're still going to fix. He goes, okay, check to see if her temperature rises. If she gets, like, she goes into ovulation, she's good.
Yeah.
It just means that the body hasn't ticked over to that part. She will get it. She's ovulating. So when women tell me, oh, yeah, I've lost my period for 6 months, have you checked this? Mm-hmm. That's one thing.
Yeah.
They'd go, I don't know. But then they're always hesitant to start bodybuilding drugs.
Yeah.
But they would have taken their birth controls.
They'll put a thing in their arm.
Yeah, they'll put an
For
implant
years.
for years.
an implant in their arm.
But you won't start. This is a weird thing. You won't start TRT to convert naturally, but you'll take estrogen.
Yeah. At a
And
a super physiological dose.
Super physiological
Yeah.
dose. So you're basically making yourself anti-bodybuilder.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. Anti-bodybuilder.
Lowering your BMR,
I'm
allowing
not-
yourself to put on more body fat more easily.
Yeah.
Like,
That's the thing. Healthy levels of testosterone keeps a female leaner. Also converts to estrogen.
Yeah.
So if you bomb yourself with estrogen, you're going to get fat as fuck.
Yeah.
You're going to get hormonal.
Bloated.
You're
Yeah.
going to get, your periods are going to be worse. You're going to have all these problems that are going on. You're going to get acne like crazy. I put Ranya on TRT. She got leaner. She felt better. Libido was better. Everything was better for you. Digestion was better. Absorption of nutrients was better. She runs higher already in estrogen.
Yep.
But the TRT balanced her out. Combination with progesterone therapy.
Yeah. And that's why giving her an estradiol-based hormone therapy for birth control is fucking stupid.
Yep.
They didn't pull labs to check.
How often do we do labs with any of our athletes?
Oh my God,
my athletes that come to you.
Every 3 months.
Yeah, has to be. And that's with her we did, and this is what you should be doing as a female bodybuilder. I don't care if you're just an amateur, you're a female, you need to be doing this. Before you start prep, you have labs. Off season, you have labs. Midway through, you have labs. In prep, 4 weeks out, do labs. Don't care what your coach says. Just do it, because I know it might sound counterproductive, but it's very productive, because you get, after the show, the damage. Do labs. So you can see what damage is caused within that 8-week period, because 4 weeks before the show, you're all good. That's probably the best you're going to feel, and you're going to feel full of energy, and you're going to be cool. You're going to look the best. And then you're peaking for the show, so all the trauma that you're causing for that 1 week up to the show. And then after the show, you got to recover. So then 4 weeks after the show, you do labs again. You have 4 weeks out and 4 weeks after labs to compare and be like, okay, how quickly did I bounce back?
Yeah.
She bounced back instantly.
Yeah. Which is great.
We did it 2 weeks after the show. And I'm like, let's just check. And we're going to check in 2 weeks from now as well, before the Olympia.
And you have the baseline.
Not a single problem.
You have to know your 4 weeks pre-show is what you're going for with your post-blood. And then you know what you need to get back to.
So, Ranya, would you ever consider going to WWE wrestling? That's what one of the questions was.
I think it was probably bodybuilding or WWE, and I'm not trying to spend the rest of my life injured on pain meds.
Fucked up.
No.
In a wheelchair?
Yeah,
Man, those guys and girls get
they
hammered.
take a lot of I'm not an aggressive person, so I couldn't. Anyway.
Well, it's a performance, but it's real.
You're still landing on your
doing
back.
It. Yeah, like you're smashing people.
Bro, I could not do that right now. I'm like broken.
Eric Kanevsky wanted to be a WWE wrestler, and he took like classes for it for a while. And he said it was brutal, man.
Yeah, look at Brian, man.
Yeah, and they're big dudes. They're big dudes doing this shit. Dude flips off the fucking
Brian Cage.
Yeah, Brian Cage. Yeah, he's fucked up, man. I've talked to him before. He's all injured.
He's injured and bad. He just had surgery on his knee, and then he was trying to heal it, and still not 100%. Still has to wear a knee brace, and he's going back.
That's crazy, man.
He's Wolverine.
He is Wolverine.
I knew Brian since he is. I knew Brian since like before he was a wrestler, before he started doing wrestling.
And he was a bodybuilder.
He won. It was the Fresno show in 2013. I won the teen. He won the open overall, and Boston introduced me to him, and I was like, "Holy shit, that guy's huge."
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman 2.0.
Yeah.
But more jacked.
Yeah, more jacked. Way more jacked.
Well, that's basically all the questions I got besides this last one, which is just about EQ and Primo Mass. I think there's plenty of content out there to actually go over that.
Jesus.
Everyone wants to know. I'll ask you anyway, Jason, because you're here. I know what I would say, but do you think EQ is a good replacement for Mastron and Primo Volume?
It's such an individual question. Like, I can't say that it's like good or bad. Like, some people don't do like I don't like Primo for the sense that like
the amount that you have to use.
I have to use so much of it. It's in such a low concentration. It's going to fucking tank my E2, so I got to use a shitload of test, which I already have that problem anyway. I have to run high test, otherwise it just tanks my E2 anyway. And it's expensive. Like, we're damn near spending as much on the Primo as I am on the growth hormone. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yep.
Masteron, I feel like Todd Lee says it best. There's nothing special about Masteron, other than the fact that like it just makes I feel like it makes the most sense for most people. It's very side effect profile is very good, and we're talking men. Side effect profile is really good. It controls estrogen to some degree. It's not an AI, but it controls it to some degree. It's anabolic. You can run it at really high dosages without issues. It's more on the expensive side, but it's not crazy expensive. And you can run an enthate, so 200 milligrams per milliliter. You know, 3 mLs a week if you want to run 600 milligrams. Pretty solid for most people, and you don't have to inject a ton of oil. I just think it's one of the most friendly steroids out there that people can throw in. versus equipoise is very individual. Some people do very well on it. Some people do horribly on it. Some people it absolutely destroys their RBC counts, their hematocrit, hemoglobin gets way too high. For some people, it's renal toxic, which I don't see that often. Right? Yeah, so some people are like that, and again, I think it just depends. I mean, we're talking about a steroid that was somewhat made for humans, but like quickly got pulled out because it had all these other negative side effects, and then they started using it as a veterinary drug.
Yeah, and Todd was actually, I think maybe Todd made a video on this.
Yeah, Todd did.
Yeah,
talking about how like it converts and stuff.
Yeah,
it's a very interesting conversion. It converts to estrone, which is your E1, which men should have zero of at any point in their life. What else? There's 4 different like types of conversions.
We should ask Todd to jump on here.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. He had it. I remember this. I was really like.
We should get him to jump on during
dive.
Olympia week if he comes out, just for the shits and giggles to have a conversation.
Yeah.
And just be.
Todd's the man, bro. I like Todd.
Some of the videos he makes is just hilarious.
I know. He has a very good like personality. And it's funny because if you talk to him in person, he's a nice guy. Like he's so nice. He's not abrasive whatsoever. But like on his videos, like he's like "fuck you, you're a pussy" and da da da. He's not like that in person at all.
No, but he'll tell you the opposite. He'll tell you you're being
super
stupid.
nice.
Yeah. So that's all the questions I have for this week. Cool. In my opinion, to answer what we just spoke about, I would prefer MAST over Primo and EQ. It's just an easier compound to use.
Yeah. Me personally.
If you want to be exotic, use Primobolan like me because it works best for me.
Yep.
If I use EQ, I'm done. I'm donezo. Like my RBC is so high, and I already run high RBC like naturally, endurance based stuff. So it's like,
That's the thing for me. Like I don't have side effects from any of them, and I would still pick Masteron because it just makes the most sense.
Yep.
Like it just makes sense
For a female, I would use Primo.
Yeah.
But I want you to understand this. You just pointed out something that's very interesting. Primobolan lowers estrogen.
Does.
Wow.
And we use it so it's like Primo is the perfect steroid for women, but we look at that and go, well, if they're lowering estrogen and having zero estrogen conversion, that's also an issue too.
Correct.
Yeah. So is that good? We think that's pretty bad, right?
Yeah.
So
and
I don't know.
There was a video about Mastron being used for females that circulated a while back when Victor Black was around.
Yeah, Victor Black's safer use model. Is he still around?
Yeah, he's still around.
It's weird.
Total moron.
He's all over the place. But if you look at it from a chemical standpoint, we understand what Masteron does versus Primo. Masteron seems like a better choice. I don't know why. I mean, I can't think of any reasons why Masteron wouldn't make more sense than Primo.
I think the DHT.
Oh, maybe, but it's not DHT. It's already 5-alpha reduced. It's not actual DHT.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
But I think the way it works differently, whereas Primobolan on paper, pound like for milligram, is weaker.
Yeah.
So therefore, Mastron's more anabolic in a sense because of its ratio.
Yeah. But then, wouldn't we just use less when we go?
Yeah, we'll use less, but that means
20 milligrams, 10 milligrams a week.
Yeah, it depends on the female.
I don't know.
I'm going to have a more in-depth conversation with a couple of people about this anyway. That's a cool topic for me to understand, and then I'll hit Matt up and I'll hit up Dom.
Because that's a good one. We need to ask people, like, I have a good understanding of it, but like, I'd love to get Dom on here, fucking Vigorous Steve, like, because they have such an in-depth knowledge, and I go, well, if we break these down, like, doesn't this make more sense to use this at a low dose? I mean, again, we're talking.
Steve is not a believer in using any of those
anything
products.
for women. Yeah, I get it.
He's Anavar and just the simple stuff, purely because he sees it differently. Of like, women's bodybuilding is women's bodybuilding, but he stays out of that.
Yeah,
like it's not his
because
place.
anyone who's really smart with steroids,
Victoria Flecker would be a very good person to ask about this, and I'll get Dom to ask.
Any person that really understands steroids understands like there is no safe model for women. There isn't.
No,
there's always a risk.
But it's the same for
it's the same for everybody, but more
it's a
for
marketing ploy, I would think, for coaches to be like, this is a safe use model for females.
No.
It's a fucking marketing ploy. There's nothing there.
It's more of if you are trying to go this route and you're trying to use the best, most efficacious, and least side effect profile drug, this is what we'd go with. But it's still not safe.
Yeah, it's still not safe. No matter what you do.
It's just the best choice.
Like even with growth hormone, everyone's like, it's so safe. No, it's not. What makes it safe?
Yeah, you're always going to have. It's not side effect free.
No, nothing is safe.
Exactly. Nothing's 100%.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brian, you got any closing thoughts for us?
Just a bunch of risk takers, I guess.
Just a bunch of risk takers. Hey, man, my life is all about taking risks. I don't want to be mediocre.
Yeah.
1,000 milligrams of testosterone.
Oh,
build big companies. And I didn't say a week either.
Yeah.
That might be a day.
Who knows? You sure made Trevor catch on to something. Okay, Trevor's like,
Wait, what?
Trevor. Like, he's like, maybe we should push the letter.
Oh, my God. I swear, Trevor's like looking at all my posts. He's like, man, he's taking more drugs than me. I can't let him do that. Fucking no. He's so competitive. He's like, he won't let me do anything better than, not better. He won't let me do anything more than him.
How many caffeine drinks have you had today?
This is my first one.
Okay, so he's already beaten you.
Yeah, he's like, you said one, I'm going to have 3. He had 20 pieces of sushi. I've had 30.
But that's literally what it is. If you think about bodybuilding and like its core response, that's what it is.
He's funny as fuck.
Competitive.
Yeah.
Competitive.
For no reason.
Yeah,
just
no
competitive
reason. Just
for
be
no
competitive.
fucking reason. Just to do
he
more.
Gets so competitive that he sort of loses track of where he's at. How many meals have you had? 3. Oh, I've had 4.
Like, wait, what? That's so funny.
But yeah, I got to get him into the gym. I think I think we're doing a session. I got to message him after this on Sunday with Samson. I got Samson coming in. Nice. One of my boys from LA. So, California. LA. San Diego. I don't know where he's from. He's from California.
Somewhere
very big state. But yeah, he's coming in, so that's going to be fun. And then I have to get you in the gym with Trevor.
Cool.
To do posing rounds at some point.
Oh, that'll be fun. Shaking like a leaf.
And then Ranya's going to run you through rounds.
That sounds good to me. I pose regularly, like just right. Like I don't have like set posing, but I do need to be more like
but we need to just work on
it.
mandatories.
Yeah.
Like with Trevor, if he has that competitiveness with someone, of being round for round, he will.
I think he'll do better. Yeah,
he needs that. He's a very competitive person, so like you need to spark that in that boy.
Yeah,
he's the same age as you, but I look at him as if he's 20.
He's like a kid. Bro.
He's a grown ass man, but I'm like you're like my adopted son,
and
you know that
20-year-old doctor.
Fucking smart.
Funny. Yeah,
but yeah.
All right, cool.
Sweet.
That was great.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll have you on more often.
Yeah,
that was good.
Stay tuned for episode 2 with Ranya next time.
Yep.
Well, round 2. But that is it for this week.
Cool. Awesome.
See you next week.
Yep.
Bye.
Sweet. That was good.